Live on the air on the ArchieLuxury channel. Clive, I've just completed my video there, social class in America. What did you think of that video there?
I think of the crappy, substandard, old, aged documentaries we watched growing up. You know, when we had truly lazy teachers, they would pit something old like that and basically to babysit the kids, and they'd go off in the teacher's lounge and smoke a cigarette or, you know, gulp a Coke or whatever. Then they'd come back and check on us. So it actually, yeah. And even the video skipping, it almost seemed like it seemed like 1982 all over again.
No worries. What did you think, Clivey? Do you want to go back to that time period? Absolutely
not. No. Absolutely not. No.
No.
I don't even think I'd like to go back. I mean, because if I went back to the way I was, I would do the same thing. Number one, it'd be Groundhog Day.
The only thing is, Clive, you realize you'd be skinny, but.
True. But, you know, I'm losing weight.
What did you think of I don't know if you saw my weight loss video I just uploaded. Did you see that?
No, I did not. I just literally got through with the social class video. Okay. But actually, from the one I saw, probably watch that tomorrow morning, to be honest.
What do you think of picking out on vegetables? Good or bad or what?
Good. Absolutely good. Yes.
If you want to pig out on vegetables?
The best thing to do.
We're talking steamed, not fried, steamed vegetables.
Yeah, if you like the taste, especially if you like the taste of it, spritz it with a little lemon juice.
Will you lose weight if you eat vegetables?
Yes, absolutely.
Even if you eat huge amounts?
Yes. They're filling. They have roughage.
Roughage, yes. That's why I leave the skins on the pumpkin.
Okay, pumpkin's technically more of a starch, kind of like, I mean, you can't, you know, corn, starch, potatoes, even sweet potatoes, they're still starches.
Is that bad? Is starchy bad?
Yes, starchy is bad. Starchy is not nearly as good as a green vegetable.
So what's a green vegetable? Let's compare. I quite like broccoli. That's a vegetable, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's green, so technically it is a green vegetable.
It's a vegetable as well, which is also green.
Yes. Yes.
Sweet potato is not a vegetable?
Starch. It's a starch.
Is that okay to eat or is that bad to eat? What's the go with that?
Well, sweet potatoes have a higher glycemic index than regular potatoes. Glycemic index is basically how quickly it's converted to sugar. Okay. Technically, everything has a glycemic, but not great. Not great. In moderation.
Shit, that means my diet's crap then, Clive. I've been picking out on steamed sweet potato, corn, broccoli.
Also starch. Broccoli is good.
Beans, green beans.
Green beans are good. Even regular beans are good. Legumes are good, including peanut. Well, peanut, of course, you have to be careful with nuts.
I don't eat normal potatoes. It's only sweet potatoes. They're still bad, you're saying. Starch is no good.
It's not great. It's better, you know, if it's prepared right. I mean, it is to a certain degree naturally sweet. So
it's steamed. I'm having it steamed.
Are you putting butter on it?
No.
Okay.
Only condiments, salt and pepper.
Well, have you ever tried putting cinnamon on a sweet potato?
I don't need that crap. I'm happy with the salt and pepper.
Okay. Yeah, well, there are worse things. I mean, there are better things to do, but there are certainly worse things.
Will I lose weight picking out on sweet potato, corn, broccoli?
Well, you can. Actually, it's certainly better than eating processed sugary crap.
Or fatty chicken.
Or fatty chicken, yeah. How is the alcohol consumption going?
I've completely cut out.
Yeah, that'll help right there.
Okay. You reckon the alcohol is a bad thing?
Alcohol is the most highly processed sugar there is known to mankind. So yeah, cutting back on alcohol will definitely help.
if you are going to drink alcohol, is spirits better than wine, or what's better to drink?
Unknown. It's been a while since I haven't really looked at any of the research, since I haven't done any of it in almost, well, I don't want to say almost 20 years, but over 17 years. And possibly, I mean, and I seem to think, you know, actually the red Solo cups.
The red what?
Solo cups, the plastic cups.
Yes.
You know, actually there's a code on them that basically each one shows the container of the serving size for certain popular alcohols. The little notch at the very bottom, that's 1 ounce of spirits. The 1/3 of the way up is basically 5 ounces of wine, and the top notch basically is a beer serving.
I see. So I'm staying. So why aren't I? Okay. So how long will it take for me to see results then?
Depends how awesome. It depends how active you are, how much you move, and even how much you walk.
I'm doing
Probably
5 minutes. 5 minutes of exercise a day.
It'll take a little bit longer. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Clive. Thank you.
It'll take a little bit longer. I mean, and keep in mind though, if you choose, it's about lifestyle, long-term lifestyle modification. Now, if you know, obviously, if you know, eat less, move more. If you're cutting back on the calories that you're consuming compared to the calories you're expending, then of course it'll have long-term effect. So in this case, slow and steady wins the race. Of course, everyone wants to lose as much weight as they can. Everyone wants to be the biggest loser and step on the scale and have, you know, in a week and lose 30 pounds, but that's untenable.
And it's not healthy. If you did lose it in a week, that would not be healthy.
Well, and yeah, and again, like I said, my ex, the drama mama, did actually drop a massive amount of weight in a relatively short period of time, more than the elasticity of her skin could account for. So she looks like a Shar-Pei. She's
but
having to walk. She's walking around with 40 pounds of loose hanging skin, and she's having to stuff it all into Spanx.
It's not so good, Clive.
No, it's not. It's not so good at all.
Has she put the weight? She kept the weight off or not?
I haven't seen her since she got remarried in September, so
she's probably put it back on. She probably put it back on.
I honestly don't know.
At least she doesn't. At least she doesn't have the loose skin to deal with then.
Well, that's true, and hopefully, yeah. But and again, it's all about lifestyle modification. It's not change. It's changing the happily ever after. It's changing how you eat and how you conduct yourself long term. So you can have the best crash diet in the world, but if you go back to eating crap, then you're eventually going to put it back on anyway.
I see.
And the more you yo-yo, I mean.
So let me ask you this: I've cut out no soft drinks. I drink soda water. Is soda water okay?
Soda water's fine, actually. I'm starting to get into that. There's stuff called LaCroix, which
it's lightly flavored. That's what actually I have something similar. It's a Coca.
LaCroix.
It's probably
LaCroix. It's French for Shasta.
And it's probably owned by the Coca-Cola company.
Probably, yes. But actually, I never could stand that stuff before.
Speaking of social class, can I tell you something interesting?
You have no social class. You have no class.
No. This is to do with Coca-Cola.
Okay.
The biggest demographic of buyers of Coca-Cola is working class, blue collar men. That's the biggest consumers of Coca-Cola.
Exactly. Yes.
It's funny. The working class eats the worst food. You know that? The poorer people eat the worst food. Like they eat a lot of. They'll go to the food store. They'll go and buy a whole lot of frozen vegetables. Well, frozen vegetables aren't as good as fresh vegetables, are they?
No, they're not. But they are convenient, and it's better to eat frozen vegetables than no vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right, Clive.
right. It's better to eat unprocessed. I mean, it's better to eat frozen food and that's unprocessed than it is to eat a lot of processed food, which is what the truly poor eat.
Highly processed foods.
Right. McDonald's, of course, fast food being the worst offender.
Yes, I must say I haven't gone to a McDonald's in a long time. I think I went there about 6 months ago with the kids, but I have not. I don't weekly go to McDonald's. I went to Burger King, Hungry Jack's, when Scotty used to shout me lunch, and it was always whoever shouts, they pick the place. Of course, if they're picking up the tab.
Right. Yes.
So that's why I went to Burger King. Actually, he's married to a lady who insists he eat healthy. So when he comes to see me, he pigs out. Do you understand?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
He brings chocolate milk. Let me this chocolate milk, a big block of chocolate, cakes, donuts. Then we go out for a lunch, either pizza, 2 big pizzas, or a Burger King. We go to Burger King. And I got to tell you, yeah.
Or Hungry Jack. Is she not letting Scotty come out and play with you anymore? I haven't noticed any Scotty on the channel lately.
No, I don't know. Sometimes, Clive, what happens is people, they move towards you, then they move away for a bit. You don't hear from them. You think, oh, what happened to Scotty? I've actually tried to engage with Scotty. I said, Scotty, come over again. Let's do some more vids. But he hasn't picked it up yet. I think his work roster, he has to come over on a day when it depends on his work roster. So I would love to do more stuff with Scotty. He was a lot of fun. He's a nice guy. Scotty's, unfortunately, in my part of the country, houses are so expensive. To give you an idea, an apartment is about 350, and a house is about 500. Dang. That's for a 2-bedder.
About twice what? How many for how big of a house?
That's for a 2-bedder apartment and a 3-bedroom house.
Wow, that's more than twice as much. Actually, well, it's been a little bit, but actually, I think we built me and the drama mom, I built a 4-bedroom for like a little over for like 2.5, I think.
Wow, it's unfortunate, Clive, but Brisbane's not even the worst offender. Sydney, $1 million for a house. Apartments about $750.
That's almost as bad as Auckland, isn't it?
Yeah, Auckland I think is even worse. And
so what's causing real estate to go? What's causing real estate to go so high in New Zealand and Australia?
Well, Brisbane's actually been quite reasonable in an Australian sense. Okay, Brisbane's been Sydney, yeah,
in Auckland.
No. Well, what the problem is that we've had a lot of Asian investors. Okay, I'm not criticizing them. I'm just telling you this is a fact. They've often, with these Chinese investors, they want to invest money in a safe country with a democracy, a clean country, somewhere that has good schools and universities. So Australia is fairly popular, same as Auckland. The other thing that's pushing prices up is Australians are in love with property as an investment tool. Okay,
right.
Now, let me explain that. See, if you have a principal, that's the house you live in, the principal place of residence, any profit you make on that is completely tax-free. And
so the government encourages you to put your money into real estate.
Oh yeah, and then if you've got an investment house, yes, you do have to pay capital gains tax, but if you normally when you buy for an investment house, there's a shortfall. Like you have to pay, you've got a shortfall from the mortgage payments, all the running costs together, including the mortgage, body corporate, all that sort of shit. There's normally a loss. That loss is, they call that negative gearing, which becomes a deduction from your income. So instead of is earning 50,000, you could pull your income back with an investment property, say to about 42,000. You could pull your income. So there's tax incentives to buy investment properties. And the other thing is that in Australia, it's history. Like you've learned yourself, Clive, if you wanted some affection from a woman, you don't talk to your mother. You learned very quickly, right?
Right.
Well, in Australia, we learned that you want to make money, you buy a house. You buy a house, the second one and a third one, because they've actually gone up in value. Now, in your neck of the woods, that's not so the case. That's not really the case. They haven't necessarily gone up and up and up. People haven't made a fortune out of it.
Well, and that's because we have so much wide open spaces because...
Well, we have so much wide open spaces too. We're one of the biggest continents on Earth. The problem is everybody lives on the coastal fringes. That stuff in the middle is quite...
inhospitable.
Well, to some degree. I mean, look, it's not just sandy desert, but it's normal. The thing is, Clive, this is the whole thing, is that this country here, we are addicted to real estate gains. We are addicted to real estate. We love our real estate. And they are ridiculous. I mean, seriously, I bought my first house in 1994. I paid $130,000. And I thought that was expensive, right? But that house now is probably worth about, okay, the house has gone to a little bit of disrepair because that's the one the ex has got. But if you look at the condition it was in when I bought it, that would probably be worth high fours now. Wow. And that's in the space of 94 to that's 20 years. 20 years. So it's tripled. It's tripled, okay?
Right.
So real estate is how a lot of people have made a lot of money. They don't have to do much. You don't need to think. Aussies tend to we're very much like Americans. We love our fast food. We love our supersize. We're lazy. We don't like saving. But if your houses keep going up, you can keep taking money out. You get a home equity loan and take a bit of that gain out. Buy that speedboat. Buy that fancy car. We love it. We love real estate. And the thing is, you buy real estate, the banks will lend you money on real estate. They won't lend you money. Like if you want to buy watches, they won't take watches as security. They take real estate. Real estate is one of the few things they will, even shares, if you buy, say you buy stock, like shares, right?
Right.
The problem with stocks is they have a margin call. If the price falls, they say, hey, this is changing. We need some more security. Whereas with a house, a property, you own real estate. You don't have margin calls on the real estate.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, we're kind of addicted. We love our real estate. We love our real estate. And I don't know if it's sustainable or not. Who's to say? I mean, the funny thing is, when I bought the house in 94, it didn't really fire off until about 2002. So it was like 10 years, nothing happened. And I certainly didn't make any money out of it. That's for sure. That went away in the divorce,
Right.
So I don't know what to say really, Clive. We love our real estate in Australia. We love it. We love real estate. What do you guys invest in America? You're not into real estate, are you?
Well, sort of, yeah. But I don't think that used to be, of course, buying in real estate also used to be the American dream as well. But really, there's a lot of volatility, at least in my part of the country.
But it's so cheap, Clive. How could you go wrong? You can buy an apartment for $100,000. Wouldn't you buy one?
Hard to tell because there's a lot of volatility, really.
But wouldn't you buy your own house? You got your own apartment. No one can kick you out.
I accidentally triggered my chair. So,
yeah. Wouldn't you buy your own apartment?
No, not really. No, not really, because taxes along. I mean, having to pay taxes along with everything else instead of just rent. Volatility in the housing market, just volatility in the economy here anyway. With oil prices, keep in mind, our whole economy over here is based towards ever climbing oil prices.
Well, oil's in the shitter, so that'd be a perfect time to buy. Buy low, sell high.
Well, true. Well, that's true. I might have to reconsider that. I might actually have to maybe sell some stuff and maybe reconsider that. But also, and part of the problem is that we have tons of land. So every, I hate to say it, but when you see older people, they're driving around. Oh, when I was a kid, all these houses were nothing but farmland.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you buy in a city, you don't want to be out in the sticks. Buy in a city apartment. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, inner city, but then again, neighborhoods can turn bad awfully quick and degentrify or become ghettos. So any sort of, if you place any sort of money in the wrong neighborhood, you could lose it because property values can also be depressed. Also we're talking about white flight. So more and more people traveling more and more upper middle class, upperly mobile people going to the suburbs. Of course, sometimes they go back and they they try to reclaim a neighborhood, and gentrification is what it's called. They take over a once declining neighborhood, and real estate prices go up there.
If I lived in America, I tell you this now, I would buy an apartment for myself. I'd buy a big fat caddy, and I'd get a vet.
Okay.
You don't want any of that?
No, you'd probably have to have a JARB in America to get those.
I see.
So, or actually, I don't think you would, because you would be adrift in the land of relatively inexpensive watches.
I don't think I could live in America. I don't have a green card. It's hard to get a green card.
You're Caucasian. It shouldn't be that hard.
You reckon?
Say you're an IT. Just tell them you're an IT worker. Yeah, I'm an IT worker. I have certification in Windows 3.2 or 2.3 or whatever.
3.11. Yes.
3.11 or yeah.
Yeah.
And
DOS.
DOS. Yes, and you're working on certification DOS 3.22.
Yes.
Just come up here and apply for certification as an IT worker, and then just come over here and do luxury watch reviews.
You reckon I could get a green card? Have you got a reciprocal arrangements with the UK?
No idea.
No idea.
Maybe those would have been good. Get a hold of. Actually, I happen to know an immigration attorney.
Let's see.
Yeah, we talked to her last night.
Oh yeah, she's quite lovely, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. Big, yeah. I'd love having her on. Loved having her on.
She was really nice.
Oh, she was a darling.
Oh, we had $2 came in from Chris Chen. Buy the US index, 8 to 11% return on investment, as liquid as cash. Thank you, Chris. Do you have money in the share market, Clive?
No, I do not. I probably need to put some in. What time are you doing a live stream with Rudy?
No idea, because he was supposed to do it yesterday. Then he wasn't available, so we might be doing one tonight. I don't know. I don't know. It's up to him. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, look, I'll wait and see what happens. Okay. Hello, Fluffy. Yeah. Super chat's fine. You can super chat us, Fluffy. Oh, I always reply to Fluffy Kitten super chat, don't we, Clive?
Oh yes, to the best of my knowledge, yes, we do.
We do. We do.
I only have one.
I always like a pussy. I always like a pussy, don't you, Clive?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Now,
even in my advancing middle age, I still like one.
Okay, so Clive, social. You saw that movie on social status, social class in America. Do you think that's true or that's bullshit now? What do you think of that?
No, all equal before the law. I'm tempted. I'm reminded of a line from the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston.
Yes.
It would seem that some apes are more equal than others.
I see. I see. I see.
But at least there is still the possibility. At least,
like in your case,
we're not in a rigid hierarchical class system like the English, like the Pommies.
If we look at you, Clive, your career means you are upper middle class, aren't you? You're an upper middle class attorney.
Possibly, yeah. I think some people would consider that. Then again, I come from very humble origins.
Yes. Well, your parents were landowning entrepreneurs.
Yes, they were landowning. Well, yeah. Well, actually, technically, most farmers are landowners until,
But your parents used to flip houses. You said they used to flip. They never had a mortgage. You told me that story. They didn't have a mortgage.
Yep. Time to buy a house. Scribble, 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 scribble. Check. Rip.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, but like I said, we always thought we were poor growing up because they said we are poor. We have no money.
But they pay cash for houses.
No, they wrote checks. Don't be ridiculous. They didn't go around with wheelbarrows full of money like the Weimar Republic.
That would be nouveau riche if they did that.
Right, exactly.
This was just
actually so.
I see. So
it's still possible. It's still possible to, because of it, with high education and hard work and a little bit of luck, it's still possible to aim for a higher social class.
Is it hard to get a job as an attorney in America if you've got a law degree?
It can be, yes, and it also depends. Well, yeah, there's a number of factors. What is your experience in addition to the law degree? And
what's happening? What's happening in Australia is universities are churning out people.
And even in Oklahoma, we've got 3 law schools that are churning out graduates. I've often made the observation we all need to get together under cover of darkness, under penalty of under penalty of death, draw lots to firebomb one of the law schools to the ground.
Yes, like in Australia, in Queensland we got more law students than actual practicing lawyers. That's just ridiculous. It's just
that means that the reason why
they're churning them out. Like it used to be,
because that's big money for the university relatively.
Yes, Jenny's saying the same thing. They're glut of law school graduates. Like even nursing graduates, right? You think if you've got a nursing degree, you could easily get a job. Not necessarily. Teaching graduates, 30% get a teaching job. 30% of teaching graduates, it's not 100%. I mean, what happens to the other 70%?
Well, around here, though, actually, one of the best places to get a high-paying job with an undergraduate degree?
Mm-hmm.
Pharmacy school.
I see.
Actually, the thing is they jealously guard the amount of students. They jealously guard the amount of graduates. The downside is that it's incredibly tough to get in. It's incredibly tough to finish the program. But if you're able to do that,
in my country, Walmart, we got a thing called Discount Pharmacy Warehouse has started to. Hello?
Yes, hello. I'm listening.
We've got a thing called Discount Pharmacy Warehouse, which is kind of the equivalent of Walmart in pharmacies. That's completely gutted the whole pharmacy industry.
It hasn't happened over here yet, but I'm sure we're probably right for it. But still,
Walmart does prescriptions.
Yes, but still, with the relative glut, with the relative dearth of pharmacy graduates and registered pharmacists, even Walmart will still have to pay a living wage to a pharmacist. He might have to work his butt off. He might have 5 assistants underneath him, he or she. But still. Well, all right. I have to admit, I am falling asleep.
Okay, Clive.
It's about 10:30.
No worries, Clive. I better let you go. Clive, I just want to say thanks for joining me. And,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been great having you here. Hello, Jenny, if you're in the... I can see her there. Okay, guys. See you later. Back next week, Friday night, live with Clive.
Send Jenny a link and ask her the questions about immigrating to America. Why not do that? I will get off.
No, I can't do that. I don't want to freeload there, Clive. It's all cool. I don't think I really want to do it.
Give her at least.
I don't think I.
Send her the link, and if she doesn't want to do it, then she won't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to waste her time. She's a nice girl, you know. She's too tired, she said. I'm too tired. I'm tired too. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, it's going to end the show now.